Contendies, we're back in action. Pro Draft was acting on up, bugging up, if you will. So those bans, I believe everything's just going to start fresh. And hopefully we will be able to start getting into the game here. Gus, you were giving me an idea rundown of the matchup before. What are we looking at in terms of these two teams going head to head? What's on the line here in the midst of the Contendies?
Well, like I was saying, right now these two teams are second and third respectively, with MSU being one game up on the Scarlet Buckeyes in the Cloud group of UCL. So, these are two of the higher up teams here that will be facing off. So it should be a very interesting game. And I believe in week 1 we did see Scarlet Buckeyes on stream. I believe they picked up a win against Team Behavior Check, if I remember correctly. But lots of interesting stuff came out of that series, and now we've got just this evolution of the meta that we've seen in the pro meta, from more of the early skirmishes and things like that to more of a scaling sort of style. And but these teams are having a heck of a time just getting back into this lobby and starting up the draft again. So
yeah, we're just waiting to see everything that's going on right now and trying to figure out exactly what is happening. It looks like something is going on and just kind of stalling out the game a little bit, but we can see what exactly will be happening. So yeah, we should have an answer here soon. I just want to see picks and bans, man. It has been a hot minute since I did Contendies, man. Week 1 Contendies was my dish, if you will, and I actually had the Scarlet Buckeyes. Yeah, I my first batch. And
yeah, it was you and me. We were casting that first series. Yep.
The ultimate duo, man. It's the as we can see here. So, but man, I gotta ask you, what kind of champions are we kind of looking to expect here? Is there anything out there that you're like, this is share your secrets with me right now? Like, spill the beans. What is Guster Posey's secret OP champion in this patch?
Pantheon.
Okay. I don't think that's a secret.
Well, he's not really secret OP. He's just really strong. He has been nerfed a little bit, so he's not as overbearing as he used to be. But the man himself, Pantheon, can be flexed into 4 different lanes. You can throw him top, he can jungle, he can mid, and he can support. And if you're really brave, you can probably throw him down bot as the carry too if you want something a little early game. So he's technically a 5-way flex, and something that was brought up on Reddit today was that he's had 100% ban presence at Worlds. Not pick and ban, just straight ban. He's just literally been banned every single game. And it's interesting because I think it's purely because of his E ability. The fact that he has the everything damage reduction as long as he's facing the direction, including tower shots, and it just makes it to where you can set up dives on these scaling champions that we were talking about. You got things like Gangplank and Kale and Vladimir in the top lane that are somewhat susceptible to dives. Vladimir has his little pool to try and juke on out of there, but if you have champions that are really good at diving in both top and jungle, it's like the Season 3 meta where you had Aatrox jungle and Zac top lane, and they both just dive and use their passives and revive and kill someone. And you can very easily try and pull something like that off on a scaling champion like the Kale or Gangplank or Vladimir. So I think Pantheon, it'll be interesting to see, because both of these teams have some Pantheon in their recently played more so on the side of the Buckeyes. So that might be something that's up for tension here in this draft, but I think we're still trying to figure out what's going on with this roster, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, other than that, I'm interested to see whether these teams play that more scaling style that we've seen become more prevalent, or if they stick with the more skirmish heavy style.
Personally, I gotta say, man, me looking at the game at its current state, it's like you were talking about earlier, where there's champions that are prevalent like Kale, the Vladimir, and whatnot, that have been very powerful inside of the meta. because you've seen them match up very well in the different matchups that are all across the board, right? Like you see a Garen get locked in, and you're like, oh, that's Garen Yumi? Nice, we'll take Kayle bot lane.
I think New Garen can just be played on his own top lane. Like New Garen, the way he works with Conqueror, he's crazy.
Spin the win, baby. That's all it is. You just gotta spin your sword right round, man. It's got enough weight in it. You know, all that momentum's just going to carry you all the way to the enemy nexus. It's a fantastic time. But I like the fact that you talked about the fact that these mid-game, these champions that have these like terrifying late games that also have insanely good mid games pair so well with champions like the Pantheon, like these early game junglers and roamers and whatnot. It really just kind of puts your attention on a bunch of different things out there that you can possibly do. And my first week of Contenders, man, you were talking about Pantheon. We saw Swain Pantheon bot lane a couple of times, and that was a disgusting combo. So I'm going to be excited to see what these Contenders are going to be able to put on out.
Yeah, and it, like you said, those late game champions, they do spike around the 3-item mark as well, to where they become, not a pushover, because, Kayle pre-6 is basically a melee main. So, once she gets some items, I've seen a lot of people go Gunblade first on her just for that 1-item spike, have the active to slow something down if you have a Garen running at you or whatever.
Yep.
You can slow them on down and sustain back up through the wave and get ranged, and once you complete some more items, then you start to become a threat. Everyone knows about Gangplank and Trinity Force and Vladimir with, mainly Proto Belt generally, but the 1, 2, 3 items on those type of champions really set them off. So playing things like the Pantheon in the jungle, like the Elise, always a fun diver champion with the repel to reset the tower aggro. It just allows you so many opportunities to try and slow down the scaling, because if the game goes long enough, it's just kind of inevitable that those champions will become strong. But there is a way for you to hold them down and delay their impact on the game, and the rest of the map can try to win out in the meantime. And you can win a game before you see Kayle hit level 16 and get that 575 range and those waves and doing all that damage, and before Gangplank starts critting you with barrels from halfway across the map with an Infinity Edge behind it, before Vladimir lands a 5-man Hemo Plague and kills your whole team, the 700 damage to your ADC with a Q, just that's always a possibility.
Everything you're mentioning makes me feel bad for AD carries, because it's like, all right, that's a lot of damage just dumped on me. I appreciate it. It is such a crazy scenario. It is but yeah, we are going to be getting on into game, I believe, here in a moment. So
yeah, something interesting in the chat. I don't know if this is true, but it seems what they're saying is that Scarlet Buckeyes will have to use an emergency sub, and they will be forfeiting the first game of this series due to that. So we might just start out from game 2 here if that is true.
Yeah, that puts the pressure high automatically. That is not what you want to see in a scenario like this. This is going to be interesting, to say the least, and see what they'll be able to get everything going with. I'm getting confirmation on everything in regards to it. But,
since it's technically game 2, they're swapping sides, so now we'll need another pro draft, I would assume. But while we do some housekeeping, is there let's see, any other fun champ? I mean,
Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger. Yeah. If people want to play mages bottom lane, Heimerdinger is one of the ones that we've seen, and
you can play that man any role except for jungle. All right, let's just go ahead and put that out there. You can play him top lane. You can play him mid lane. Listen, that Donger is always raised. You can't unraise the Donger. You can only watch it ascend to higher heights. Okay.
And if you watch LS, he talks about the merits of Ornn jungle, and I'm surprised more people don't do it or even try to do it, because it makes sense. He doesn't need to back because he can buy items while he's out in the jungle. He can buy his full jungle item while he's still out there clearing to get more sustain. He can buy stuff and brings all that percent health damage and CC to the table. You can even take Spellbook on him to bring an extra ignite or something. You know, it makes a lot of sense as to why the orange jungle would be pretty good. I haven't actually seen it done in practice yet, though.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It works really well too with the fact that you see these mid to late game hyper carries kind of coming into the fold. You got Kaisa, Xayah, Jinx, all these champions. They really appreciate being able to get that molten edge. You know, it becomes a very nice thing to be able to see and really be able to just layer out that damage, which all AD carries love to be able to pull out. If they can do obscene amount of damage, whew, that's a great time for an AD carry. I think we're getting pick ban fixed here, by the way. So it looks like it is official here. We did do a swap, so there you go.
Currently, MSU B team is up 1-0 due to a forfeit. And you're talking about AD carries, but we were talking earlier about how those late game champions running around hard to play AD carries, and that's why you see in pro play the 3 AD carries that actually get played mostly are things like the Kaisa, the Xayah, and the Ezreal, is because they have the ability to keep themselves safe to a certain extent. And, you know, every once in a while we'll see a Caitlyn played as well, just due to her range and her plate-taking ability. You know, she can be played as well, and it kind of makes sense. You know, you sit there and you think about, I can just play Jinx, and then you think about, you know...
And then you think about the Vlad flank, and it turns back.
Vlad and Gangplank and all sorts of stuff.
Here we go, though.
We're getting on into it here.
Woo!
And look at that, one of those mobile AD carries banned right out of the gate. There goes Xayah, and the Buckeyes will respond to the Katarina ban, which target ban against Mubu Xuanjing. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I am not Chinese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can confirm Gus is not Chinese. But the Olaf being picked up here, much more to Gus's sense, is the Olaf. And then Echo being banned away as here.
Yeah, you know, we've seen the Echo jungle try to be played in pro games, and it's gone like, what, 0-4 or something, and people have just kind of stopped trying to play it. I think it still has its merits and can be good, especially we're not in the world's professional actual tournament here, and we have different players. He's still a very strong champion after all these buffs that Riot has given him, so it makes sense for him to be banned. But there's the Pantheon ban, and then followed up by a Kaisa ban, so it'll be interesting to see what gets played bottom lane with 2 of the premier ADCs being banned. Pantheon being banned as well means that we won't see at least the crazy stuff coming in, but there's first pick Hail for the side of MSU here to start off the series, but it's game 2.
Yep. It's game 2, but hey, this is a flex pick that can go between 3 different lanes. Now, Scarlet Buckeyes, it's going to be their turn to go after, see what they want to pick up in regards to this Kale pickup. And I agree with this pick already that they're hovering.
Yeah, Vladimir would be a pretty decent answer to Kale. Is a bit stronger early on than Kale is, and then later on they'll just be able to just kind of handshake and toss waves back and forth to each other and scale on up, and both will have really strong impact in team fights. So there's more onus on the Kale to make sure that she doesn't waste her ultimate, that she either saves the correct person or uses it for damage at the correct time. Because let's remember, when you use your ultimate, you are not able to auto attack, so your DPS will drop in exchange for the invulnerability and damage that comes out of it. So even if you're ulting someone else, you still cannot auto attack. So pretty interesting little interaction they have there. But Nautilus being picked up for the Buckeyes as well. Very strong all-around engaging team fighting support. And Ashe being picked up by MSU. I love the Ashe pick. I feel like Ashe is super underrated right now.
Ooh, but look at this. Morgana being locked in. That's a black shield to go with the invulnerability. No CC. Nothing's going to be able to touch your carries here. I like this pickup in response to the Nautilus here.
Yeah, and obviously anytime you play something like a hook or that has single CC like the Nautilus or Blitzcrank or Thresh or Pike or whatever, Morgana just a fantastic answer into it. Because as long as you black shield correctly, you can completely nullify that champion's existence. Now, in the case of the Nautilus, he does have a couple extra ways he can throw out a hook to bait a black shield, then ult the other person who didn't receive the black shield. So it's not like Nautilus is completely done when Morgana gets picked up. It's just he's got to be very careful with how he does his abilities.
Gotta play smart, man. Gotta play smart. We're getting into the second ban phase here. I like the Sivir pickup, but now we got MSU. They see this composition kind of making up before them, and they're like, all right, we need to start getting rid of some stuff. Zach was banned away by Scarlet, but looks like Jat's being banned away on the opposite side. I like the respect there, making sure they don't have that powerhouse in the top lane.
Yeah, I really like the Zach ban here from the Scarlet Buckeyes. They understand that Ashe can be a primary engage from wherever she's at with the arrow. And so they want to ban some things that are the secondary engage, like the Zac, something that can follow up and create big time havoc if someone gets hit by an Ashe arrow. So it'll be interesting to see if they ban more champions similar to the Zac as the countdown comes in, and they didn't ban. They must have lost a ban for. Oh, they banned LeBlanc. Okay, so different kind of ban, just going for some lane pressure, but I feel like that's what MSU is trying to draft here. Is some extra engage, something to follow up on the Ashe, or to start out an engage to let Ashe follow up on it. Because if you try to walk at someone as Kayle, Ashe, Morgana, throw an arrow out, and the rest of the team just kind of clumps up on that person that's stunned, you're not going to walk into the enemy team as Kayle, Ashe, Morgana. It's just not going to, like, you could flash Soul Shackles, I guess, and Zanya's, but then it's just not very good. But whoa! That's a champion I haven't seen picked in a while.
That is a Rengar. The pub stomper of lobbies coming out here to hunt. Now we just need MSU to go ahead and lock in the Kha'Zix, man. We can have ourselves a showdown. But that is, like you said, a champion. I haven't seen this in competitive play in a good hot minute. And I'm going to get to see it come out. And
it makes a lot of sense with Scarlet's team comp, though. Because you have the On the Hunt from the Sivir and the Death Charge from the Nautilus to single someone out. Rengar can use his ultimate to follow up on the Death Charge and blow someone up. Because look at Kayle, Ashe, and Morgana. Once the Kayle ult's down, they're all incredibly vulnerable to Rengar's physical damage and nuking potential. So, but countering with the Kled, you have an On the Hunt. How about a Charge to counteract it with?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it made it through this far. Skarner being picked up as well to give a lot more stability and allow them to go ahead and initiate off that pick. An Ashe arrow, a snare, and a way to just like that spit stinger inside of you. Hit him with that impale. But also, Kled very strong into his team composition with the grievous wounds to be able to apply. What will be the response? It's going to be Garen spin the win, baby.
Yeah. And, while technically Kled could be flexed to mid lane, let Kayle be top lane. OG We Was Kings is the one who plays Kled. He's their top laner. So probably going to be top lane for that Kled pickup. But, you brought in Kled, you brought in Skarner. That's some more engage and some more tools to initiate fights, and I think that is a very solid draft from MSU. The only thing I have with that is that Skarner is not the strongest early game jungler there is, so early on they'll need to be a little bit on the careful side of things.
It's just one of those things, man.
It's like Ashe Morgana can do very well in lane. They both have tools to keep people at bay and, just kind of chill in lane and push waves over and over again and not get engaged on.
Yeah, that would be big for sure.
And then Kled can win just about any lane he's put into for the most part. So that's very strong. So it'll be up to the side lanes to make sure that they are strong, so that way the middle of the map doesn't get collapsed on, and Skarner doesn't get pushed out by the Rengar, and Kayle doesn't get absolutely destroyed by the 2v2 as well.
I'm just impressed with you right now because I'm still tumbled in on this Rengar, man. This is a knife cat. Have you ever seen a cat that holds 2 knives? It is a terrifying thing, man. You don't want to walk in the kitchen when your cat has knives in its paws. Rengar, this could be a terrifying sight for the side of MSU. If Rengar starts getting going every single League of Legends player has had the fear of seeing that little eye go up above their head, where they know that the Rengar is sneaking around in the distance, ready to just pounce onto some fresh meat. And if Rengar starts getting going, it's gonna be a hard time. It doesn't matter if you're winning lanes, doesn't matter if you're playing safe. Rengar can still chunk you so quickly. And with this composition, man, Silver makes it to where this composition, where it's just straight up run at you, becomes a stampede. They're going to be looking to leave their footprints on people's foreheads with this composition.
Yeah, once Rengar ults, he gets speed anyway, so you combine that with the speed up from the Sivir, he's going to be a fast boy. And if he decides to go Youmu's too, he's got even more speed up. So lots of
things. Garen and Vladimir too, man. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's something that MSU needs to watch out for. Make sure that they use the Kayle ultimate on the correct target. Make sure that they land the Ashe arrow, because if any of their skills get wasted, this team from the Buckeyes has the speed up to just kind of run through and destroy them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the Buckeyes have what is a dogpile composition.
Yeah.
MSU, they have this much more like let's wait it out and let's pick them apart kind of composition, where they can kind of go through their early game and then it's like, all right, mid-game spike, you guys are ours. We have our ultimate abilities. It's over for you guys. It's going to be a real telling story to see how these lanes go, see how these people are able to go, and also the lane assignments, because like you said, Kled more than likely going to be over in the top side, which tells me Garen's going to be up top, Vladimir in the mid lane, over for Scarlet. Does raise a couple of questions on how these lanes going to go, because Garen and Kled are both known for winning lane. They're both known. One's known for bear traps on ropes, and the other one's known for screaming Demacia at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if, Kayle ended up swapping the teleport. She had Ignite there for a little bit. I was interested to see exactly if they were both going to take Ignite, because Kled with Ignite should, in theory, beat up on Garen pretty good. But the Vladimir on the side of the Buckeyes did go for the Ignite as well, so that's pretty interesting there instead of having triple TP. But both these teams have a pretty decent mid-game spike, and that would probably be where the Kled comes down to try and go with the Ashe Morgana for their mid-game bits after Ashe gets her Essence Reaver and has the ability to shoot out some arrows. Meanwhile, Kayle can just chill in a side lane and farm on up. That's probably where Vladimir will end up going as well. So it'll be interesting to see. I think this comes down to execution more than anything.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are charging on ahead or you're looking to lead a stampede, or if you're just in the thrill of the hunt, let me tell you about a place that is just for you to make sure that you have the keyboard that optimizes your needs. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am talking about Kono.store. That is Kono.store. I don't need to spell store. Everybody knows how to spell store. Don't tell me you don't know how to spell store. But let me tell you, it has the best peripherals that you can get on the market here today. These guys have keyboards. They got keycaps. They got all the phenomenal stuff that you could possibly want. They can make your keyboard go clickety-clack. And make it to where you get some elo. I've tried it. It made me rise up in like 3 divisions instantly. It was disgustingly good. I was able to catch every Dravenats without dropping it. That's how good a Kono keyboard is. So that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Go to Kono.store, pick yourself up a keyboard, and we're going to give you guys a short moment, take a short break. We'll be right back with the action after you plug in your Kono keyboard. We'll see you soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. Without much delay, we got Contenders here. We're in technically game 2. My name's Travesty, and I am joined here with Guster, and we could have a very exciting game. Look at how these teams are moving right now. This is already very exciting.
Yeah, normally you like to start the series off with some 5-man grouped action. It's technically game 2, but it looks like they're still starting off grouped up. Morgana, great level 1. That binding lasts for very long, even at level 1. Allow you the chance to kill someone, especially if a bear trap on a rope can be grabbed afterwards as well. But these teams are on the complete opposite side of the map from each other just about, so not a whole lot's going to happen, I don't.
No, not going to be happening at all. You see some words being dropped on around. This is going to give them some information, but very scary sight actually if you are a MSU fan right now, is if you look at how they're rotating around, but they just revealed themselves, so they kind of messed up on that one, I think.
Well, they changed the Skarner Spires so you can't see them on the minimap anymore, because then that would definitely have revealed them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might have seen the circle enlarged, so they knew. Plus Ash landed the volley, which procced lethal tempo, so she knew for sure. So some vertical jungling will probably end up taking place here, since Icelandic Hero got the opposing red buff.
The question does become, though, what will be the fate for them to have here? And we're seeing it's like Garen versus Kled mid here. I think Icelandic Hero is just going straight to his other red buff.
Just going to go red to red, and Skarner saw that and says, okay. He's just going to go do a full clear, I think, just to work his way up to that level 6, because, Skarner does not provide a whole heck of a lot pre-6. He can land a stun, can find some kills, but there's not a whole lot of gank set up mid lane for him. He'd have to go bottom or top for some good gank setup. Oh wait, Kled's mid. I just noticed that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, Kled.
I was looking mid. Yeah, they went mid on me. I was looking at the portraits on the left. So yeah, they can go. All right, so they can play bot side for sure. They got gank set up in the Kled and the Ash Morgana. So Skarner will have some ways to make things happen pre-6, but generally you really want that Impale to really make things happen.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot harder without red buff, right, too, because he does not get that available to him, and Rengar doesn't really need to go for blue buff here. He just grabbed that at the end of his rotation, and he actually gets to be greedy with that. He has 0 mana cost from any of his teammates to really worry about, and Rengar is looking for a gank up in the top lane. He's going to jump on in, sinking his knives in, but misses the boa toss. That is very unfortunate, as A. Lamau just spinning away.
Yeah, and it would have been really nice to kill the Kale there. Set her behind, force her to teleport back. It wouldn't have set her too far behind, but forcing the TP out would mean any return gank, or if Vladimir can push her out of lane, would cause her to lose CS later on. And, once you start forcing them to lose 5-10 CS here and there, that's when you make a big CS lead.
Oh, A. Lamau looking to jump onto OG, but not going to be able to catch him on out. But someone that will be able to get caught out? I just heard executive orders, right? This stream gets over to 100 viewers. Apparently there's a giveaway. That's something I just found out about. So, yeah, share it to your grandma, your friends, your dog, because apparently when 100 viewers is hit, we are going to be doing a giveaway here. So keep your eyes posted on that, and chill for all the great action. Now we are seeing a little bit of more spinach to winage action here. Ochi was Kangs and A. Lamau, pretty even on their trades here, I'd say. But A. Lamau in a bad spot, and Knight in the pistol shot. As soon as I say they're even, We was Kangs just goes ahead and pops him.
Yeah, I didn't think he would do that much damage, but he got the Conqueror going and threw down the Ignite and made it happen. He's down some CS, so he's actually just kind of losing lane a little bit, but then comes out with that solo kill, forces a teleport back out, will remount, and should be just fine, and has a lot of CS for him to grab once it gets closer to him.
Yeah, it actually comes down to one of the big things to take notice of that was he did make sure he went in with his Violet tendencies. That is the mark of somebody who has played a good amount of Kled. They just know, hey, I can jump in with this, proc my Conqueror immediately, and just go ham. So Really appreciate seeing this, and I also like what MSU is doing. Look at the ward vision that they've decided to go for down here on the bot side.
Yep, definitely making sure that they have everything that they need to make sure that Rengar doesn't get any pre-6 ganks either. Because he's level 5 now, so he should be hitting 6 pretty soon here, especially because it looks like his Krugs are up, and as every jungler knows, Krugs are worth the most experience in the game right now. That will change in preseason, but right now, Krugs are king still.
it's still
not,
the king.
It's not Kled. He was king. Krugs are king
Kang
right now.
Yeah, Krugs are king right now. And you are going to see that Knife Cat's going to be able to get that bounty of Krugs. We're seeing some pings actually coming on out here, so kind of have an idea of where this Rengar is without having that vision. Very important for the jungler to be able to do this. And even look at this, Kled even putting a little bit of vision here to see if they can possibly spot out that Rengar.
Yeah, and the charge is available now. Moose Kings is level 6. Garen not level 6 just yet. Probably won't be too much longer though. There it is. So, ultimate's available here for these top laners in the mid lane. And, you know, Kled's ultimate can make things happen when things otherwise wouldn't be able to. Comes in, gets a big shield for himself, does a lot of damage. Obviously speeds up his teammates too, so I'm looking for him to be the big playmaker, especially once Skarner hits 6 as well and has that Impale ready for him.
Check this out, they spotted out the Rengar with that earlier ward there as well, so that is very, very good for them. And they're looking
he's
to
just gonna charge
on in. Icelandic Hero getting jumped onto right here. Is he going to be able to pick up the kill? He doesn't have the Ignite. He does have a lot of damage going his way, but not going to be able to get much else. Here's the Predator that's going to be coming out from Skarner. He is not 6 yet, but he's going to be able to get the stun. That's going to be a sword that's going to be able to slap him on away. And very, very aggressive maneuver coming out there. And the most important thing, the Vision Ward still stands.
Yeah, and it was great facial awareness by Icelandic Hero to recognize he was in a bush. He had some minions that he could jump to get himself on out of there. So great stuff from him, understanding his champion, knowing what he can and cannot do, and makes things happen because, you know, the Kled damage was really strong while his W was still there. Once that was done, the Kled's not that strong. Once the Violent Tendencies is done, he doesn't really have a ton of burst DPS that he's able to do.
Look at that. He's already making an impact down here in the bot lane. He doesn't need the charge to be able to make that happen. He can just have a bear trap on a rope. That's all any man ever needs. That's the
Hemoplague
coming out in the top lane. Not going to be able to get much else but some healing off of that one and push away Mubu in the top side of the map. I got to say, Gus, one of the things I'm really appreciating right now is look at the dedication right now. This Skarner looking for something. He's looking for it.
Oh, he got it! The flash Impale!
Going to go on down, and Pengu God made a fatal mistake. He dredgelined in, and that is going to seal his fate. He is going to go down, and that is a kill over to Omelet. And Bafro, man, this dude showed the patience for that gank and made it happen.
Yeah, I mean, so many different things you have to consider against a Sivir. You gotta know her spell shield cooldown. You gotta know if she's used it. And if she hasn't, sometimes you just gotta do stuff like the Flash Impale, regardless of whether or not she will have it. Just try and make it happen. You know, because if you're quick enough, you can probably make it happen.
If you're quick enough to spell shield a Flash Skarner Impale, then you're fast enough for a lot of things, man. That's a very difficult time to actually do it, especially when you were not expecting it. They had no vision on that Skarner. And that kind of comes back to my point, man. MSU over here, they have been doing an excellent job in vision to really shut down a lot of the things that this team from the Buckeyes would want to do.
Yeah, and that's how you have to play against champions like Rengar. You need to get deep. It's like facing Evelyn, where you have to get deep vision. You have to see them before they go invisible. You have to know, hey, Rengar's on this side of the map. He just finished his Gromp or whatever camp, so we need to chill. We need to not do anything without backup, because we always have to act like he's going to be here. And it's very good for MSU to recognize that and play around it, because a lot of times, you know, you can say it in pregame. Once you get into game, you just kind of forget about it, you know, and you end up falling into that trap. Rengar gets some kills, gets snowballing, and then your ADC is on suicide watch because he's probably just gonna die.
Yeah, and here we go. Ohio actually looking for something. Luigi, he is trying to use that Hemoblade to his advantage, but there's the Impale to come on in, and just a little bit too much. And this Garner, he's 2 for 2 on these Impales and has been making mad work across the map.
Yeah, he made that look really easy. As we see, Kale had a gold bag. She got a 90. She has another one in her inventory as well. Kleptomancy. She had another one. I didn't see what that one was, but, you know, you get this Kale rolling and good things will start happening. Good stuff from Bafro so far to make good on his 2 ultimates. I don't think we've seen Icelandic Hero ult yet either, and, you know, back when Rengar was played pro, the casters would always harp on the first Rengar ultimate. You gotta make something happen. And, you know, that's true to a certain extent. But sometimes it's just like, if you don't use it, how will you know? You know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
The rest of the team hasn't been in a position to set it up yet, so not faulting Icelandic Hero at all. It's just kind of some food for thought there.
Yeah, and it's the thrill of the hunt, but always hunting is some PvE rounds, man. He's got some chicken. He's been munching down on some Cocoa Puffs up there, getting those Krugs. He hasn't really been able to do anything too much just yet, but he has been farming up quite. So, see if he'll be able to get something off. But it's hard for him to do so with the vision yet again, because he's about to be spotted out here yet again. But he is sneaking the Rift Herald, actually, over on the top side, it looks like.
Yeah, and something I'd like to point out is Kale has the Gunblade complete. Did you see how much damage she did to Ohio Luigi there? Just randomly half-healthed him. And that's the power that Kale brings, even with the 1-item power spike. And oh, man.
So, Icelandic got caught there, I think, because he was dancing around the river
too.
there.
He had to ult away.
He ulted to get away from all of that. That is, thank you for the leash, Icelandic Hero. He started off with a really cool, like, invade path, man, and just hasn't been turned out well. Now, Destin is going to be hit up, has the anchor toss has been thrown on, but Omelet does so much damage. That is not going to be enough. That death charge comes on in, but it's just enough to keep him on alive. Omelet now going to find himself getting the kill, staying alive for a little bit longer. Is it going to be enough? That's the stopwatch to be used. Here comes Luigi on the backside. Referral is going to be able to pick up the kill onto Omelet, and that's going to be the double kill going on over to Ohio Luigi. And that is going to be exactly what the Scarlet Buckeyes needed.
Yeah, that's what the doctor prescribed right there. They needed to make something happen. Even when Icelandic Hero couldn't do anything, he got forced off the Rift Herald. We'll lose some plates for it, but getting a double kill for your Vladimir, for your late game scaling teamfight monster, is just what they needed to try and make sure they don't get completely outscaled this game.
I gotta say, real quick. Oh, hold on. Icelandic Hero. And Bafro. No, looking for something.
He has to know that he's been seen. He knows that the sweeper saw him.
But the what I was gonna say is, if you look at the gold difference, all of that is actually mostly on the in between the Skarner and Rengar, actually, which is a very interesting thing. Usually, you see the Rengars that are on the opposite end of this, but the Skarner, still, because of all that, picked up a lot of plates in the meantime. So
yeah,
a lot of gold focused on him.
He'll be a tanky Scorpion guy, but as far as the big time scaling champions, the Kale and the Vladimir, Kale is still up about 300 gold right now, and that's just due to Klepto. From what I saw her get that 90 gold bag, I imagine the other one was probably a decent amount as well. So I think that's just straight up Kleptomancy gold, because she's down CS, she's down a kill. It has to be Klepto.
Has to be, and oh wait, here we go, here's the Stampede, here's the combo we've been looking for. Hello, Omelet, he caught the arrow, but the boa is going to be able to break his ankles. Now, Icelandic Hero, he's got his dancing shoes, he's going to be able to dodge
black
everything.
Shield.
But great black shield coming out from Def Sentence to make sure nothing further comes of that. But there it is, the River Rail Icelandic Hero combo. You start the Stampede, and Rengar is going to chase right after him.
I love the animation on Heining Kale there, where she kept looking back. She's like, I know he's here somewhere. And when he jumped, she did land the point-blank arrow. Unfortunately, it doesn't stun for that long, so she still went down. But it was just kind of a cool little thing I saw there.
Yeah, just like, where is he? Where is that Rengar coming from? There's the Sivir! Just one of those interactions, one of those moments. That's what I was talking about earlier, man. Everybody's had to face a Rengar in solo queue before, and it looks like we might see Omelet getting some
Oh,
treatment
no.
here again. Goodbye.
Oh no, he
Becky.
hawk-shotted for it too!
His Spidey senses
He
were
sensed
tingling.
it!
Oh wait, this could be really bad. The blast shield's gonna be used. They're taking the tower shot here. That is gonna be the shackles that are gonna be locked in. Wait,
Here
this
comes
Rengar is going to be dropped down very low. Here comes Fled, gonna be able to pick up the kill on the Pengu God. He's going to go on down. Now it's Icelandic hero
Oh, no.
getting binded again, and Death Sentence is going to go ahead and take him on out.
Yeah, it was good on them to sit in the bush and catch out Omelet again, but they stayed too long. They had to recognize that Morgana still had ult and stopwatch. They had to realize that it was going to take quite a lot for them to actually get the dive off onto her, and they probably should have left knowing that Kled exists. And he existed, he charged, and everything was good for the side of MSU there, aside from Omelet getting blown up, obviously.
Yep, and we're seeing actually a lot of attention being shown
The
here.
big
Oh,
Grievous
Luigi
wounds.
doesn't have the pull, and it's like
He
you
doesn't
said,
even get
Grievous
dismounted.
wounds. Baby damage to this Kled, man. Let me tell you, now it's Riverwell. He's got it in his head. Oh, no, they just baited out the spell shield. Riverwell is going to go on down to Omelet, and that is what the gank earlier did. It showed him the fear of when a Skarner gets toothless. No choice but to hit that spell shield.
Yeah, and even Skarner can outplay the spell shield too by using his Q while he's there to pop it, then use his ultimate. So, you know, you gotta be really, really good with your spell shields in order to correctly spell shield the Impale.
Man, oh man, oh man. This Skarner's throwing us for a treat right now, and then this Kled 3-0-1.
Where's Captain Flowers? Get him
Just
in here.
yeah, get where's the flower man at? But Kled did just get to recall here, I do believe, and we're seeing he just went ahead and picked himself a fresh pair of Nikes, some Jordans, man. He's got those Ninja Tabby. He's gonna be looking to doing a lot while Icelandic hero looking to get his team a second Drake.
Yep, looking like this is gonna be that kind of the lull point in the game with this dragon not being contested. No fight will come out of it. Just, you know, buying Kale and Vladimir more time to scaling up, buying Sivir more time to get to that 500 CS win condition.
Yeah, it is buying time, really and truly, and you gotta think of who this is going to favor. Nessa is a second cloud trade. Now, while the Buckeyes are going to be fine here, but they are going to be looking at like a 2K difference right now, right? But you gotta think they do have those Moose Seed stats. That's really good with this composition that they have here with the Rengar, the Vladimir, the Sivir, the Garen. This is actually very good for them. Oh,
There they go!
Death Sentence in. Death Sentence.
Wow!
Riverell and Rengar's damage coming on through.
Yeah, and just like you were saying, the extra Cloud Drakes definitely help out. It'd help out either team, you know? Having Skarner and Kled be faster would help as well, so good for the Buckeyes to pick up those clouds and just make it to where you may not necessarily need the Sivir ultimate to make plays like that. It definitely helps, still, as we just saw. But it's not a requirement.
All you need is a bush. All you need is a bush. A bush and a Rengar and a dream. Might be talking about a dream here. Depth charge is going to have to be forced on out. That is going to be the
Pop Predator.
Thinker going on in, and Predator was popped, but not going to be able to pick anybody up off the side here. As let's to see, Kled and the Skarner are around each other, and this game is a little bit far forward. That's a bear trap on the rope that is going to be able to come on out. That could be a lot of damage. They're going to be able to get the Impale on him. They are just tethering around, bringing him on back. I don't think he can get away from this. The Ignite is used, and he goes on down slowly but surely.
Yeah, don't call him Shirley. His name is We Was Kangs. But yeah, you know, it's hard to be up that far against this team comp. Even when you are Garen, you know, you're a champion that traditionally just does not die. Takes forever to die. But with the way you build now, where you like Trinity Force to get the more attack speed to make you have more ticks.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You're squishy, but charging down to the bottom lane, and Riverol answered with his ultimate to get on out of there.
I like it. I like it. Usually, I like my charges filled with blood at the end of them. You know, like I like these guys to like run into each other and stuff like that. But these guys definitely respecting each other. They realize this is anybody's game still at this point in time. But you definitely got to look, like you were talking about, there is scaling, but some of these early to mid game threats are definitely very, very strong on MSU side. And this KO only gets scarier the later the game goes on.
Yep, she's level 12, so she has the waves on her when her passive is stacked up now. Still waiting for level 16 where she gets the 575 range, which will make her, I believe, more. Does Ash have 550 or 575? I don't remember off the top of my head, but you know, Kale becomes way longer range at level 16 and makes it even harder for champions like Garen to get in and actually do anything to him. So
it will make for a good time if they're able to do that. This game still Goldie staying the same here, and you gotta think there could be a potential pick that they might want to go for here. Riverell in a picky spot here. He's gonna be stunned, knocked up, destroyed, and that's a kill going over to Mubu there. Hotshot's going to be used to try and keep vision on the Garen, but he's a speedy boy when there's not a ton of CC being piled on top.
Yeah, and it was really good for MSU to make sure that Kale got that kill. Mubu was able to pick it up. You know, you want to funnel everything you can into this champion to get them up to their item breakpoints, to get them to their level breakpoints. So that way you have the late game Kale as early as possible.
Right, there could be more action to come out here. Kled's looking for a catch here. Pinky guy's getting dropped down very low. That's going to be the Knight that's going to be put on top of OG We Was King. That's the Impale being put onto Icelandic Hero. He says, I'm going to die, but I'm going to die for a cause. Damn it. But that is
look at Kled go!
He wants to die for Ohio Luigi. He's got his pull. He's going to be able to stay alive for a little bit longer. He's trying to keep his distance away from this Kled, but that's going to be the charge. It's going to be with Ohio Luigi's going to be able to pick up the shutdown on the side. Now it's a Lamau Zedong. He's looking to try and see if he can get up out of here. Spin the Wind is the name of the game. Will it be enough for him to heal? He brings down the giant sword of justice. And now it looks like he is just going to be able to get out of there, as that is one of the craziest fights of, oh no, we'll take this before we get out.
Yeah, Bafro and Death Sentence didn't need to die there. Bafro kind of walked up and let Vladimir hit him with the transfusion to kill him there when he definitely did not need to. At least I don't feel like he didn't need to.
I don't
Death
think
Sentence staying that close to Garen after proccing the Soul Shackles was just asking to get justice, and that's exactly what happened.
This is a conqueror Garen, man. He's here to conquer
with
and
Trinity
pillage.
Force.
Yeah, they're Trinity Force at that. He is going to... He smacks you with that sword. It hurts, man. It is laying volumes of damage, and that's an Ocean Drake going over to the Scarlet Buckeyes.
You think Garen is building Randuin's, or do you think he's building Deadman's Plate? Think he needs to go faster?
I mean, either one is a good option. I'm gonna take the guess of Randuin's. I'm gonna guess Randuin's. I'm gonna go for the not the Dead Man.
I feel like we'll see the next time he backs. If he ends up getting a chain vest, he's going Dead Man's.
He's got enough for it. He can get back whenever he wants to make that happen, but he needs to keep pressure on the map while he can. And you can see the Scarlet Buckeyes know exactly what their roles are currently, as they have this split push going down in the bot side.
Yeah, and them being behind the 3,500 gold or so that they're behind right now isn't the end of the world, because in terms of like scaling, like pure unadulterated scaling.
Oh, Lamau gets caught by the arrow. Icelandic Hero is trying to kill somebody on the bat side.
He gets out!
Go down on the bat side. He's going to go ahead and get on out of there. That's going to be the thrill of the hunt. That's going to be the chilling smite. That's going to be able to get inside. That's going to be on the Icelandic Hero. He's going to find himself going on down. Now Pengu God, he's going to go in, and one by one, they are going to find themselves falling. Now it's going to be Ohio Luigi. He's going to find himself getting popped. Riverell is the only member left alive, as it is going to be Ohio Luigi going down, and that is 4 members of the Scarlet Buckeyes down, and that is going to be a Baron for MSU.
Yeah, I was going to say that Vladimir and Sivir probably have a bit of a scaling edge over Kale and Ash, but when you just kind of give them 4 free kills as they go walking in like that, you know, Garen got caught out, but the rest of them just kind of died by going in one at a time. Nautilus even hooking his way back on in to die, giving up a Baron. It's a little messy here from the side of the Buckeyes.
all I can think of is they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming.
Riverroll decided he didn't like Smash Mouth, didn't want to follow.
He wasn't feeling. He was feeling like an all-star. He didn't want any of that, man. Definitely the smartest decision that was made in that fight was abstaining from the fight.
He decided he was the shooting star and he broke the mold.
Yeah, there you go. And oh man, a shooting star indeed is what they're going to be looking to wish upon right now. This Baron buff and a 7k gold lead just about here in favor of MSU. Remember, this is game 2 in favor of MSU right now. And these guys are looking like they're in a very dominant position.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they play this game out the way that their comp is designed to, they should come away with the victory. There is still opportunities like with Vladimir flanks, just like that.
But he is going to go down. OG We Was Kings is godlike. He's able to pick up that kill for himself, and action's not done. He's still got the best minion, the cannon minion, with that Baron buff. And here comes the charge. They're going to be looking to see who they'll be able to jump onto. Skarner's going to find himself getting jumped onto by the anchor toss. That's going to be Ahmed picking up that kill. Icelandic Heroes over here on the backside. He's looking to just pick up a kill of any type, of any sort, trying to just zone them off the tower. He can't find his target. He's going to find a death sentence there. His Icelandic hero that's going to find himself going on down.
Wow,
now. It's going to be going out. His Riverell, he's in the backside with the spell shield. Lamau is going to be able to pick up a kill onto the backside there. Sivert looking still to try and get the boomerang toss that could try and save their team to fight. These are a lot of low HP bars currently right here, right now. They need to be very, very careful about how they continue to play this out. Garen's TPing down into out of the mid lane. You see the pings that are coming on out, and this is going to be that dead man's play. Garen, he spins, he wins. It's like a Beyblade. Let it rip. That's a double kill that's going to be coming on in. And OG We Was Kings, you don't get your mouth. He is going to take it in the Scarlet Buckeyes. They answer back twofold.
I was going to say, I felt like MSU didn't need to use that charge in that way. They could have just set up a big-time siege after they picked off Ohio Luigi's Vladimir. Just sit there with the Baron buff. Let the Baron cannon minions do the work on the inhibitor tower. Save your disengage for when you force the Buckeyes to come in back after you. Instead, they dive on in, and they essentially get aced. All 5 members died. The Baron buff's gone. And now the counter attack from the Buckeyes takes down their inhibitor tower as well. And it was a 7k gold lead, and now it's 4.
Yeah. What was 7 is now 4.
And the dragon's coming up.
It's just one
Fortunately,
mistake.
the type of dragon seems to be bugged right now, so I don't know exactly which one it is just yet.
I've never heard of that dragon. Bug dragon?
Yeah, it's good against psychic dragons.
Ah, nice, nice. I didn't realize they were doing the whole
The
elemental
Pokemon
thing
thing
with Drake. Yeah.
Yep.
Rise of the
Drake.
rise of the Pokemon typing drakes.
18 different dragons to choose from.
Which one will you choose? Oh god, that sounds terrible. Never mind. I don't want 18 different kinds of drakes. That doesn't sound like a good. This sounds like a balancing nightmare. Let me get the fairy drake. That's all we need. This is going to be the ball in MSU's court, it looks like here, as they are all gathered around the mid side. No TP on Lamau Zedong. He's going to be able to get this top tower, but what's going to be the cost? MSU's about to make him pay.
Yeah, Mubu almost level 16 as well, so it looks like they're going to end up giving this inhibitor away for free unless they try and do something. They said, you know what, Lamau, stay up there, get yourself a tower, we can try to turtle out these super minions. So, a bit of a golden fusion, you know, just getting towers, but...
Check this out, here we go!
Oh, they're going back in!
It was all deceit! It is going to be the first part of war that's going to be coming out. That's going to be a charge. It's just going to whiff. You're not going to be able to catch out anybody, but Riverell is going to find himself getting impulse. They will chase him down and stop on his face.
He lives, though!
Too freaking long. It's not going to matter. The damage was able to be dealt. That's going to be one kill that goes on over to MSU. That's Lamau Zedong. He's going to be able to pick up another one. Kale is gone on down. And now it looks like it's going to be Skarner's turn. The big giant sword of justice coming on down. And that is a double kill that's going to be answered by the Scarlet Buckeyes. The bow is going to be able to land. That's going to be the anchor toss is going to be able to come out. You're not going to be able to mount onto Scar here. And We Was Kings has gone back to the Fountain Express route. And now Omelet just trying to get out of harm's way. Going to be able
Wow, he has so much tenacity.
But the tenacity is here. He is looking to chase down this omelet. He is hungry for some breakfast. He is looking for some IHOP, but not going to be able to chase that one any further as the Black Shield comes on out.
But once again, MSU decide to engage a fight where they're diving into the opponent's base, and they lose 3 people this time for that. And I really feel like they don't need to force it that hard. I understand what they were thinking. Garen stopped his back and went for another wave, and they said, all right, let's go. And they ended up picking off Riveril. But, you know, Ohio Luigi does enough damage to where it doesn't matter if Riveril's gone or not. He's got the Spellbinder. He's got Proto Belt. He's working his way towards the Rabadon's Death Cap as well. Like, this Vladimir is someone to be contended with here in the Contenders League. And I really want MSU to stop just randomly diving on in all the time.
I gotta say right now, though, as soon as I saw him start walking backwards, I was like, oh, it's a fake out. They're gonna shoot the Asher and they're going to charge back at him. Like, they literally faked him out like, they're gonna have to walk down this lane. Like, I just felt it. I felt it building up in the OG We Was Kings. He had to go for it. I respect, you know, but sometimes wasn't the right play. And also, none of the carries got to jump onto the Sivir there. It's just the Skarner and a Kled. So I feel like the Skarner got to live for a very long time. Here comes the charge yet again. They have the KO with him. Ayla Mao Zedong is going to be here trying to have
Stone Plate now. He's
going to be going in there. Ayla Mao Zedong, he's going to be able to live for a lot longer here as Mabu's going to find himself in the middle of the Spindle Wind Center. And the Scarlet Buckeyes, they just wiped the field clean with MSU.
Rengar was like 1 HP, used his W to heal himself back on up to essentially full. That Garen has so much tenacity. He got hit by the Ash Arrow at like a medium range, and I swear he was stunned for all of half a second.
Nobody died in that fight either.
And once again, yeah, MSU just baits themselves back on in. They say, let's go for it, and they go on in.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't even tell. He just take those 10 tower shots. Ayla Mao Zedong is looking just fine with that one. And baby, oh baby, if you were to look at this game and say, hey, we are already 1-1 at this time, woo, you're in for a surprise, man. That game was nothing but exciting.
Game was crazy. There's so much things where someone would either get blown up or be at low health and live, or it'd be Rengar, and Rengar has that heal on his kit now, and he just healed right back up to full health like it was nothing. Skarner hitting Sivir unable to spell shield the Skarner ultimates and Ash arrows, and MSU, I kind of feel like they cost themselves this game by just trying to dive in so much. Like, you look at the items that they had on Omelet, he had Blade of the Rune King, Phantom Dancer, and a Guardian Angel with Ninja Tabby. He's not really doing any damage there. So it was essentially just Kale and CC and Kled's damage. So it was Kled, Kale, and CC going on in against a Rengar and a Vladimir and Nautilus and Sivir, at least that last one. And they just ended up losing. That was like 4 times where they used Kled ultimate, and they lost a fight that they started and initiated.
That was actually, it's a funny stat to actually look at, is the fact that Kled had 0 deaths before the last 3 charges happened of that game. It was like he charged off of a cliff, but instead of it just being a simple cliff, right, there was like a whole bunch of sharp pointy rocks at the bottom, you know, and all the rest of his team fell with him. It was just a tragic time. The composition did really well in the mid game, but this was a composition that, like you were just talking about, man, there was so many things that could go right, but there were so many forced moments that just led them to just being a little bit too overconfident. And it doesn't matter if you have no gold lead, if you have a 10K lead, your Nexus explodes all the same. And we found that out here today. But that being said, this series is tied 1-1 now. We need to throw it over to a little bit of a break as we are going to get ready for our game 3 here. Be sure not to go anywhere. back to UCL, where the freshest contendees are right out the oven. We got the Scarlet Buckeyes taking on MSU's B team, and Gus, we already saw an explosive game too, and we are already in pick bans already.
Yeah, and so far looks like more of the same as far as the draft, but there's the change right there, banning away the Vladimir and Kale getting banned as well, and that makes sense. Those two scaling champions are definitely problematic, and you just kind of don't want to deal with them sometimes.
I agree. Both of those champions are both like, just it feels bad once you hit the mid game and start playing against them. Pantheon's remains banned, and now Buckeyes get their first pick, and it's gonna be Kaisa, man. We're gonna pick up our own Dream AD carry.
Yeah, and with Zaya banned, that means that MSU is going to have to settle for what, people would call a lower tier AD carry or a mage in the bottom lane or something along those lines, as Kaisa and Zaya are pretty much the top two by a pretty big margin. So I'm interested to see if Omelet just wants to play Ezreal or go back to the Ashe, and there's the Ashe picked right back up. And I want to see him do more, because last game he had 3 items, which sounds all right for an AD carry, but his 3 items were Bork, PD, and GA. He didn't get to get all these extra items, for champion. Didn't get to do all the damage that he would have wanted to do. So I hope that he just gets to do a lot more this time around.
Yeah, we didn't get to see an impressive use of the Enchanted Crystal era, but Morgana being locked in, so there you go. Same bot lane duo has been locked. Now it is in Scarlet Buckeyes court here. Gotta imagine, probably want to pick up a support for themselves and something else to go along with the rest of their comp.
Yeah, obviously you want to see a support with CC to pair with the Kaisa. Get free plasma stacks on that, so that way she can ult around and proc passives quicker. And Olaf going to be locked in, so a very early game jungler here picked up for the side of the Scarlet Buckeyes after running the Rengar last game, which didn't look too good right out of the gate, but as the game went on, he found his ways into the game.
And this pick was banned in the last game too, so got to keep that in mind. This was a champion that they did not want the Scarlet Buckeyes actually picking on up, and they ended up giving it back over to him. And Zillion getting flipped on over. A very, very interesting pick right here.
Yeah, it's technically a flex pick. Could go mid, but the support, they were hovering Nautilus, so, your first instinct says that it's support, but this could be very interesting here. It's kind of like Karma with a revive in terms of how it interacts with Olaf. It can speed Olaf up while he has the Ragnarok on. And if he gets low, you just press R, and guess what? You got Olaf round 2. So that's pretty interesting. Jarvan being locked in for MSU as well. Just a very standard early ganking, engaged jungler. And Kled and Garen being taken away. So solo lanes will not get to play what they played last game this time around.
Yep. They are not gonna. No solo lanes are gonna be able to get the champions that they had in the last game. So it's going to be a lot of new picks to pair up with some of the stuff that we have seen from the side of MSU. But Scarlet gone for yet again a brand new composition here with 3 completely new champions on their end here. LeBlanc staying banned away here. They do not want to risk the Zillion being that flex like you were talking about, and they are not wanting to risk it right on now. And the next pick after this ban is going to go to MSU. You got to think of what they want to pick up.
Yeah, they're going to have to end up... I have a couple things on my mind. I'm just having a hard time deciding which one to say out loud. But, with Kennen and Kled being banned here, you'd think that they would want something to prioritize in top lane. Maybe they go for something a little tankier. Maybe they bust out an Ornn or something along those lines, just to bring in more engaged. But Mordekaiser will work for that as well.
Hoi Bay is going to be the Mordekaiser, and he's going to be using that mace to try and keep the foes at bay. Scarlet Buckeyes, now they have their picks. Quiana was banned in the last game, and with LeBlanc being banned on away, they're just looking like they might want to just go ahead and pick that one on up for themselves. And this does leave them some options still with this draft, depending on what they pick up here next.
Yeah, and I do like the idea of Mordekaiser against a Zillion, because you can just ult the Zillion out of a fight, and there's no revive available. So that way you can catch someone out. But Kiana and Gangplank being locked in, definitely means that this will be a Zillion support with a Kaisa, so not the easiest CC to set up in the world to proc Plasma, but definitely doable with a double bomb. And then the team fight potential that a Gangplank and a Kiana bring is very powerful.
The mid game is going to be something disgusting to keep an eye out for. MSU's answer is going to be Darius here. So they just said, we are going to dunk you in lane. No matter what you try to do, you can't find anywhere to hide. Very, very interesting pick, actually, to see the Darius coming out here from MSU. And this does tell me.
Normally, when you pick a brute, like a top laner in the mid lane to counter something like the Kiana, it's for Nectin. Normally, you don't see people just busting out Darius mid for this sort of thing, so that's pretty interesting. It might still be Darius top.
I was about to say, this could still be Darius top. So they could have Darius top and Mordekaiser mid, and run the gauntlet that way. I think both matchups work out fairly favorable, but I think Darius definitely wants to be top side.
They're just kind of AP and AD versions of each other, right?
They're juggernauts.
So they both just kind of do damage in circles, and their ults are really annoying. So it's kind of just how
the Shadow Realm, one dunks you into oblivion.
Yeah, one cuts you in half like Trunks, like your name is Frieza. So
I appreciate the DBZ reference there, man. Appreciate it. Now, I'm going to be curious to see how these team fights are going to break out. Last game, we were talking about how they kind of had this wait and see into the mid game and kind of get everything going for MSU. And then the Scarlet Buckeyes kind of had this dogpile composition. And it actually turned out to be the opposite way in the last game, where MSU was trying to dogpile people, and Scarlet's like, we'll pick the bones here.
They're like, we have Vladimir, you guys are grouped up, we're going to land a Hemoplague, and then... You know,
they let them do the grouping for him, man. I'm actually scared to say what I believe these teams can do, because they might just do the opposite again. But we are going to be getting on into the Champ Select and getting everything going here. And
I'm looking at these comps, and there's a bit of anti-synergy here with the Jarvan and the Mordekaiser and the Darius, because unless Jarvan Cataclysms with the Mordekaiser and the Darius inside of it, they're not really going to be able to contribute a whole lot with autos. So that's something they need to keep an eye on, is just making sure that the Jarvan doesn't anti-synergy with the two bruisers that they're running there. Other than that, they have a lot of engaged power. You know, I guess in theory you could pull them out of the Cataclysm with Mordekaiser and Darius at ease, respectively, if you really wanted to. But they have a lot of engaged tools, just like they did last game, and they don't really have as surefire of a way to just charge on in and do something that they probably don't want to do like they ended up doing in game 2. So definitely gives them more time to think about if they really, really want this engage or not, instead of having the whole team go on in a million miles an hour.
I gotta say, man, you were talking about the Jarvan pick, and I do want to say that we could look into a my name's Jarvan and I'm helping moment. Because if you look over at the other composition here, you look at a Zillion, Kiana, and Gangplank, and they see you actually accidentally like crater somebody inside of it. They're like, oh, sweet, thank you. This is great. Yeah. This is exactly what I wanted for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, you can create terrain for Kiana if you trap her in with a couple of your teammates for her to land a supreme display of talent in the Jarvan Cataclysm, guarantee the stun and the damage, and she can dump you right on out of it too. You follow with a zillion double bombs, some Olaf axes, and Gangplank ults, and it can be an arena of death, not for your enemies though, but for yourself. So Bafro's got to make sure that when he cataclysms, that it's exactly the cataclysm they want. Otherwise, the Buckeyes have a lot of ways to make it something they don't want.
Going to be keeping an eye, I believe, on MSU's bot lane inside this game too, and the jungler to go along with it, because, you know, in the last game we saw MSU had a lot of impact through their jungle, but the bot lane, you were talking about it at the very beginning of the game, very beginning of the draft, when they picked up this same bot lane as what they had. They didn't really get to do too terribly much. They had a couple cool crystal arrows in the mid game, but eventually they kind of found themselves falling behind and not really able to have as much use with the team. So I feel like we're going to have to keep an eye on how this bot lane goes, because they obviously are picking this bot lane in combination with each other because they have confidence in it.
Yeah, and Ash Morgana can win just about any lane. Like we said before game 2, they have a lot of laning presence. Volley and Tormented Soil and Bindings. They can wear you down, especially without a full-on engage like the Nautilus was in game 2, or without having sustain. They can get poked down, and Morgana can land a Binding and kill someone. Meanwhile, Zilean can counteract with stuns from far away, though, to try and keep them at bay. Try to set up some easy passive procs for Kai'Sa. And bringing in Olaf with the Zilean speed up does mean that there is gank setup in a way. Even if they don't land the stun, having an Olaf running fast, land axes, dodge the binding, and get in on the Ashe and Morgana. Mm-hmm. So this, just like last time, it comes down to execution. There's a lot of little things on both sides that can go wrong that could determine the fate of the game and the series.
Well, determining fate in the series, I gotta say, right now there are over 100 people watching that were just looking at everything, that are going through it. And in front of all of those people, I want to say right now, I do not condone whoever is running on the Upsurge esports stream thing saying Poggy Woggy. I don't condone that. I don't think anybody should ever condone that. I know a viewer said it first. That's fine. You're cool. But whoever's running on the Upsurge account, what's with the Poggy Woggy, man? I don't appreciate that as much as I appreciate our sponsors. Midwest, baby. They are the middest of the westest, as some would say. These guys have been doing a lot of different competitions that are out there. You really need to keep an eye out on these guys whenever they're putting out all the hottest of details to come on out their way. They're able to do so freaking much. They've been around for many years. They started as a small student group out of Wichita State University. And since then, Midwest Esports has grown to be a veteran organizer to tournaments. They do League of Legends, Rocket League, as well as Overwatch if you're interested in. To check them out, be sure to check out MidwestEsports.com. That's MidwestEsports.com. And Gus!
Hello.
Do you know what's also great?
What's great?
You know what, man? I've been looking. I've been noticing something about you. You've been looking pretty fly here, man. I've been seeing you. You got some people on your shoulders and whatnot talking about how cute you be looking, man. I gotta say, I've noticed that all of a sudden you've been wearing Sector 6 apparel, which is the leading esports apparel company, if you guys didn't know, providing on-demand printing for groups of all sizes. Sector 6 designs comfortable and stylish professional esport organizations with the jerseys that they need, and also making sure that collegiate programs are able to have the hottest of stuff. If you guys know it, man, check out some collegiate jerseys. They got some fresh stuff out there. Be sure to check out sector6apparel.com. You can also go to collection/upsurge-esports to get the flyest of where to turn the tide in your favor, because we're all about that Upsurge swag up in here. Check out Sector 6's apparel today and rep Upsurge Esports or your favorite team in style today. You should definitely get the Upsurge one, though. It's pretty nice. Blue brings out your eyes. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a short break. We'll be right back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We in game 3 here. The Scarlet Buckeyes taking on MSU's B team. And oh baby, it's going to be a hot and spicy one, especially when you're looking at all those beads. Guster, are you ready?
Apparently I was fired, but it was spelled wrong, so I'm not fired.
How is it spelled? Were you fried?
Yoru.
Yoru. Oh no, who did that? Was it Arrow?
It was.
Oh man, they should fire him. Send him back to school so he can learn how to spell kid. But
so things we're talking about in the loading screen as we see MSU grouped up here looking for some Olaf for some Icelandic piranha plant action. Is that we got Ghost Darius in the top lane.
Yeah.
Straight out of solo queue, triple rejuvenation bead start. That's some straight solo queue stuff going on right now.
It screams to me, OG Was Kings likes to play one style in particular, and that is I'm going to beat you down until you're so depressed you can't move your mouse anymore. He's going to be looking to do that, it feels like, with especially with all those reju beads. That's a lot of staying power inside of his laning.
Yeah, and with the Ghost, he just gets to decide whenever he wants to all in on Gangplank, just Ghost on up, pull him in, and beat him down.
He doesn't like teleport, man. He is an Ignite or Ghost player only.
He should be a mid laner.
Little do you know. You can't be mid lane and play Darius, but you know what else you can't do? Bafro's going to find out that...
Forget about the level 2 Jarvan gang.
There it is. The flag and drag and Ohio Luigi. Gonna get jumped onto immediately there, and I'm really surprised by the positioning of Ohio Luigi there.
Yeah, it's something that you always end up forgetting about when you're playing against a Jarvan until it happens, and then you're like, wow, I'm dumb, I should have remembered.
Oopsie.
It's just kind of like playing against Twitch jungle. So many people still fall for the level 2 cheese Twitch jungle gank, and I'm just like, guys, it literally does one thing. Come on.
It shoots you. It rat-a-tat-tats you. It fills you with holes. You gotta know that. Come on. But it's also like the fact that they had that ward there, so it's like, oh, why would you be on that side of the map? But now we are seeing a little bit of pokey, a little bit of jabby. They are, yet again, MSU doing what they did really well in the last game. Tracking Icelandic hero, yet again. You can already see the pings coming out around them.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the junglers are supposed to do. You know, you go in and you're supposed to just figure out where your opposing jungler's at. Once you figure out his path, you know, you kind of have an internal timer of, okay, it's been, 20 seconds. He's probably done this camp. He's probably on his way down here. So you give a heads up to your bottom lane to make sure that, hey, so-and-so's on Krugs. Just be careful. He can come in and get you guys. But they have a nice ward in the tri-brush, so they'll spot him unless he comes running in through lane. And boom, there he is right now spotted.
Able to go ahead and spot him on out. Over in the top lane, we saw the terrifiedness that is that Gangplank. He's like, oh, there is a Darius walking at me menacingly. Gotta respect that. As now Bafro is over here forcing the flash, and yet again, MSU, he did the same thing last game. He's 2 for 2 on success with his ganks.
Yep, and doing it on a champion that's way easier to do it on this time than on the Jarvan rather than Skarner. But he's got water, does Ohio Luigi, so the root will land.
Yeah, he does get it. He's going to be able to get the root. There's a TP coming into the mid lane, weirdly enough. I
mean, it just cost him some walking time. Not the end of the world. He was TPing back to lane anyway.
Yeah, I guess. It wanted to jump into the action there.
Better than TP right now. Oh, he's ghosted!
Yeah, this is the problem with doing what he just did here, is Darius is just going to go ham on him, but now Death Sentence, he's finding himself in a bad spot. That's going to be the bomb! The flash coming out, the first blood, and now it's going to be the axe toss, and Omelet's going to go down, and it is just going to rain misery for this bot lane, as Kais is able to pick up an early double kill.
That was a really good prediction from Pengu God that Death Sentence is going to flash. Even though he had the black shield on, landed the stun onto Omelet to ensure that after Death Sentence dies, Omelet would die. And Rivera was able to pick up both those kills on the Kaisa just exactly it could not have gone any better, except Olaf had to flash. That's the only thing that could have happened better.
I feel like that's such a tilter move too, because you flashed into your AD carry. That is like one of the rules when you play this lane as Morgana's versus Azilian. You don't do that. You don't want that. Your AD carry is going to hate you.
Yeah, thankfully Amla had teleport. Not gonna miss a ton of CS out of it. It's still just now Kai'Sa has her 2 pickaxes going in for that early Q max build, and you know when you give Kai'Sa kills, Kai'Sa gets you more kills later on. And we've seen Reveril do this before. I believe week 1 he played a bunch of Kai'Sa.
Yep. It's a good champion, man. I don't know if you've heard about it. I don't know if you've heard about her. I mean, underrated pick, right? Doesn't see a lot of pro time or anything like that, of course. Got the double pickaxes. 1 pickaxe for each hand. Been playing a lot of Minecraft lately. You can dual wield in that game now, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can dual wield in Minecraft. Just one of those fun facts. You're welcome.
I remember when dual wielding was a thing in Halo 2 and it blew everyone's mind.
Yeah, well,
there's a screen display talent!
Oh, it hit both, too! Bafro wasn't able to do anything with that, and Ohio Luigi, he gets the double stun, and it's enough for them to secure the kill on the Mubu. And this is looking really good for the Scarlet Buckeyes.
That always feels really bad when you're playing against the Kiana and you're like running to help your mid laner as a jungler, and the wall comes out and attacks you. You're just like you're just like walking up and just the wall explodes and you're just like, ah!
I didn't feel like I would hear that reasoning with it. The wall attacks you.
Yeah, it's like Wall Shadow and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z references, and now we're going back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Next thing you know, we gotta do the Paradox Brothers, apparently, next.
Well, they're the ones who use the Wall Shadow, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just gotta finish each other's sentences, man. That's all we gotta do.
I mean, that can make things really awkward, so...
Very fastly. But now we are seeing some of these items that are starting to go into the mid-game, seeing how some of that's getting built up. As you can see, the Mordekaiser are getting that Seeker's Arm Guard, and you see Darius already picking himself up that Raptor Cloak. So go ahead and pick that on up with that defense.
I love this build out of the top lane. I mean, not really, but it's just.
I was about to say I don't love it. I don't love it.
It's just funny to see.
But we do see Finger God dodging away over in the top lane. There could be some action. Bafro looking for a gank up here.
Yeah, and there's a big wave built up here, and Gangplank's not able to blow up the barrel.
Yeah, but he didn't blow up the barrel. He's going to find himself Dunketized Meat Captain. Now it's going to be Bafro. He's finding himself in some action. That's going to be Luigi picking up that kill. There's lots of damage coming on at the bleed. Just picking up on the Icelandic hero. He is stuck inside the Shadow Realm with Mabu. And now Mabu going to be able to pick up that kill. He's going to find himself getting stunned on up. That's going to be the artillery fire raining on down Supreme Ohio Luigi. He's got his dancing shoes. He is dancing around Mubu so easily there, but Mubu is looking to escape. He is a slow little Mordekaiser right now, but looks like he will be able to make it out a-okay. But bot lane looking very interesting. Pinku God, very interesting positioning here.
Yeah, he's looking for something, but...
Wait, Mubu! Mubu! You don't have time to farm the minion waves. You're gonna get farmed instead! Mubu! Ohio Luigi's on a killing spree. Thank you for the money bags.
Yeah, and now he has enough gold to where he can go back and buy his Moby boots and just keep roaming. Like, he's 3-0 after getting level 2 ganked and having to blow his flash that early. So Ohio Luigi doing very good for himself thus far, and you know, it's very scary when a Kiana gets fed because that champion just does so much damage, has execute damage pretty much whenever she wants it, gets to root, gets to go invisible, gets to stun you and make walls explode while you're walking past them. It's pretty scary.
I gotta say, this does bring up a very concerning part of the composition that MSU has drafted for themselves, where they do have a situation where they are very immobile champions, and when these fast champions start getting leads, it kind of goes back to what we were seeing in the last game. They kind of dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah, and even then, once Darius and Mordekaiser fall behind, it's, you know, for Darius, it's relatively easy to come back in. You just land a pentadunk, and then you're fine. Doing it, harder than saying it. But Mordekaiser has a harder time getting back into a game once he starts falling behind like this, because He just kind of has to proc his passive and just sit there and hope that he outdamages everyone. You know, there's not a whole lot of skill expression involved with Mordekaiser.
Yep. He's not going to be able to do too much. He doesn't even have a Phantom buff to make himself useful in that situation. So he's going to find himself really looking for an advantage to be able to pick up for himself here in the near future. But this Qiyana, not going to let that happen. I got to figure out a way to kind of unlock this composition if you're looking at the side of MSU.
Yeah, and it comes down to Jarvan. He's got to be places, he's got to land the CC and allow the Bruiser solo laners to do stuff like they're going to try and do right here.
Yeah, but he has Flash, so going to escape from that crater. And while that will happen, the Cloud Drake did go on over to the side of the Scarlet Buckeyes. So, yet again, Drake Patrol, Icelandic hero, definitely showing he has a very strong proudness for doing such.
Yeah, and that's very good for their team comp, you know, with Olaf, with Qiyana. You want as much speed as you can with those two champions, and you know, having zillion speed ups just to accelerate even more means that once team fights and skirmishes roll around, they're just going to be faster and be able to come at you from different angles and be really creative with how they approach things.
And a big thing to also take note of is the fact that there is a 2k gold deficit, and 1k is on both the Qiyana and the Kai'Sa here on a Lamau Zidane. I love his strategy there. Walk up into his face. That was the closest I've ever seen to somebody just poking out their chest and getting right up in your face and going, come on, do it. And then just walking away and going, yeah, I knew you wouldn't. I knew you would. Just kind of
touches him with his sword like, do it.
Just straight up T-posed on him for a moment there, and it was just entirely
Gangplank
in his control. But oh no, Omelet misses the enchanted crystal arrow, and that's going to be Omelet going on down. Death Sentence is going to be able to lock down a couple.
From Ohio should get it.
Oh man, Zillion ult is going to come on out. Now it's going to be him resurrecting here. It's going to be up to Qiyana to see how he'll be able to do that. Fancy footwork coming on out. I like the idea of throwing the bomb onto Ohio Luigi there, too. You want to jump onto him, it's your death wish.
Yeah, making it to where if Jarvan goes on in, he'll get stunned up, allowing Riverroll to continue to auto him and probably kill the Jarvan at this point. He just has Cinder Hulk and some cloth armors. But very good stuff from Ohio Luigi. Roaming, making things happen in other lanes, and he's 4-0-1 for his troubles.
Always nice thing. I don't think anybody ever argues that. They're like, oh, I'm playing an assassin. I'm 4-0-1. How terrible. I definitely wish these kills went to somebody else.
I'm actually
I never use all these kills. The only way I could just do what I'm... Oh, I thought he was about to pop it right there. I was like, if only I could do what I'm about to do to this Jarvan right now. Oh man, it's definitely a terrifying situation. Right now, OG Weewas Kings is kind of struggling right now. He's got a gold lead in favor of himself, but item-wise, it's going to take a while to get going. While Gameplay, he's at that point now. He's just got barrels. That's all he needs.
Yeah, he's got Sheen, and, you know, Sheen procs just do a bunch of damage, and soon enough he'll have Trinity Force, and then Darius will be hurting, and that's, you know, kind of the purpose behind the Raptor Cloak is just to have that extra durability, but you know, once Gangplank gets rolling, you know, he's pretty much untouchable as long as he doesn't flash into 5 people.
Mm-hmm. You didn't even see OG Weewas Kings definitely respecting a lot of things about this. Oh, here comes Bafro. He's going in for the game from the backside.
Oh, look, Darius can't do anything.
Darius is stuck on the outside looking in. Hey, Lamau Zedong. He is buying so much time. OG Weewas Kings is going to find himself getting ducked himself. How's a heaping amount of true damage? And Ohio Luigi says, you can flag, but you ain't dragging to set your courts back to the fountain. And that's going to be Shelly getting summoned up to the top lane.
And that's the nightmare for the MSU team comp, is you find the Gangplank without Flash in the Cataclysm. But Weewas Kings can't do anything because he's in there and he's stuck outside and he can't reach the Gangplank. And then you just can't really do anything. Olaf shows up, Qiyana shows up. They summon Shelly. The only good thing that came out of it was that plates were already down, so they're not going to get any extra plate gold out of the deal. But they get that tower in half on the second game too.
No, Moo-Boo! He's finding himself in a bad spot. He's going to go and throw him into the Shadow Realm just to try and keep him from dying. Icelandic hero, he's staying out on the outside looking in. He's going to have to flash on out of that. Very well done and very well timed. Here's an undertow for your efforts, and they are going to be able to get out of that safe as can be.
Remember when Flash didn't work for that? Like, you would flash and still get pulled back?
It was a good time for a Darius player, so let me tell you that.
Yeah. I think Icelandic Hero would be really upset if it still worked that way.
Yeah. I'm saying good for Darius players. For the rest of the players out there, it felt pretty bad, man. It is going to be a little bit of farming coming on out still. Mubu's trying to get himself some CS up in the top side here. Good Shackle to come on out, blocking him on in, but now OG was Kang, find himself getting spot onto. But not going to be able to get there. That was a lot of resources used there in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I think it literally just came down to that ult missing from Kiana. I think if they had stunned Darius up against the wall in the Gangplank ult, did that extra % health damage from the ultimate to him, they probably could have killed him. So just missing that one skill, and that's the margin of error with a champion like Kiana, is something as simple as just missing one ability means that you don't really get anything accomplished.
Gotta show off your talent, man, and sometimes talent isn't always that easy. Don't know if you knew about that. But it is.
I thought talent was like natural, and it just came to you naturally.
Yeah. Well, all right. Listen, man. I don't need you poking holes in my bubble. This is my League of Legends bubble. You popping it? You're cramping my style right now. Ohio Luigi's gonna go kill somebody because you said that. Just gonna put that out there. He's
been doing it all game, so good on him.
He's recalling actually. Oh no, he's not. He sees.
Oh, they stopped Ash's back. They're looking for the dive now.
Yeah, Omelet's looking juicy. That's the stun, that's the damage. River Earl's on a killing spree, and I'm just gonna say Omelet's looking tasty right now when they're looking at this bot lane.
Yeah, and it was kind of like that last game too. We saw the Buckeyes teleport bottom and make things happen when they started falling behind early game. Just come down bottom and have a party, and it's working out just as well, if not better, this game.
And you are seeing right now, I mean, there is some gold that's being built up on the other side of the map as well. I gotta point out, Gangplank, even though he's down a total amount of 40 CS almost, he is even in gold with OG Weaver's Kings. Just from the fact that he's been getting the Klepto, not even the Klepto, he's just been getting assist with his ultimate.
Yeah, and that definitely helped sustain up his gold, because otherwise he'd just be 0-1. And be down 40 CS and not having a good time.
And
right you see just how scared MSU is to try and do anything, because they just have so many tools on the side of the Buckeyes to get out of these situations. They have Zillion ult if someone really gets caught out.
Oh, Mafro, flag and drag up out of there. Going to be able to make a great escape, but it's also like they're so immobile that they can just. The pace of the fight is Ohio's to choose, but there is there.
Or Morgana binding.
You got in a bad spot. That's the Cataclysm coming on out. They're trying to lay some damage out there. They don't want this. That is going to be the Kaiser going into the backside, laying out the damage. Icelandic Hero is going to be able to pick up a kill onto the side as well.
And a good Zillion denies the reset.
Going to be able to keep everybody alive. Riverl stuck inside the Shadow Realm now, but it might actually just been the fight the MSU needed. Tengu God, your net's on the list. Come and catch these hands. Boo Boo. Looking still for another kill, but he's going to find himself with Icelandic Hero instead. Icelandic Hero, I don't think you want this. Mubu will take your name all the same.
Yeah, and see what happens when sustained fights happen against champions like Darius and Mordekaiser is they end up coming out on top. But there for a while, it looked like MSU opted into another fight that they didn't really actually want. But meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Alamao Zedong is able to get some minions, get some push on, eats an orange, and the arrow never happened.
Yep, it's okay. As long as you keep him at bay like that, it's going to be fine for him. He's just happy to get some gold. He is actually backing with a decent amount of gold, I do believe. He'll be able to pick up his Triforce, and that means this Gangplank is on a whole nother level of paradise here.
Yep, and we were talking about all the tools that the Buckeyes had to get out of situations like that, and you saw they were in a fantastic spot to win that fight. I think they just got spread out a little bit too much trying to avoid the Mordekaiser, and Mordekaiser ended up, I think, 1v1ing every single champion except the Gangplank, because he was down in the bottom lane. At one point in time, Mordekaiser was literally just sitting there fighting one person after another.
It's like when you end up getting, it's like back in the day, man, when you used to 1v1 people on Rust, but everybody joins the lobby, and there's always that one really good trick shotter. That was Mordekaiser. He was the trick shotter. But now we're seeing that there's some tricks up the sleeves of A. Lamau Zedong. You got a passive being put on top of you here. OG We Was Kings. He's looking to try and turn it around on the summon. Now, you need to get out of there, gameplay.
Brazilian ult ran out.
Dunked. He is going to find himself getting killed, but Riverell, one more auto, and Riverell went down as well. Very, very close there, but really well played from OG We Was Kings.
Yeah, and I would have liked to see Pengu God wait as Omelet's just dead.
Yeah, he's dead. How do you like your omelet? Well, apparently the Buckeyes like theirs scrambled because they have just been scrambling omelet all day.
Yeah, it hasn't been a fun time for him this game. But back to that fight in the bottom, I would have loved to see Pengu God actually wait for Darius to actually dunk someone before using his ultimate.
Yeah.
So that way it actually denies the reset, denies the true damage doing a whole lot aside from proccing the ultimate. Instead, him using it early allowed We Was Kings the opportunity to sit there and wait it out because, you know, the Gangplank does a lot of damage, but not quick enough to one-shot the Darius from that HP. So
the ping was.
They
in
just
his
need to be
eyes,
careful about that.
He just had some ping in his eyes. It was just a little bit of lag. He was just like, "Oh man, I got it next time. Don't worry."
Team Liquid excuse.
Third. Oh man. Oh man. You gotta think, man. You're looking at this team right now. The Scarlet Buckeyes, right? They are doing a phenomenal job with it. They still need to be careful, though. You see that, you know, after that last fight, they're kind of respecting MSU a little bit more here.
Yeah, they realize that if they actually get into a full-on 5v5 where the Supreme Display talent does not land the stun, it's going to be tricky for them to win because once Mordekaiser gets his passive roll and gets the Conqueror proc, it's a lot of damage and not a lot of room for them to maneuver around it. And he's 4-2-0 now. He has the Leandries and the Rylais, so getting into a fight with him, you really need to be able to focus him down and take him down before he starts destroying people.
Gameplay looking to try and get himself positioned in the bot side. Does have teleport available and the artillery to call on down and make it reign supreme for himself. Gonna be looking to try and do something, especially while Ghost and Flash are down for OG We Was Kings. Gotta make sure he has a way to get away because this Darius is very scary for him to deal with currently.
That bomb. Okay, I thought that bomb was gonna hit Baron.
I thought so too. It was very close. It was literally a centimeter off. I was waiting for it.
But they're just starting it. They have the Mountain Drake, and it's going down really quickly with Kaisa.
Yeah, I mean, Darius can't join them for this. They are looking for it. There's the Enchanted Crusader. They get it. It's just a hair too late.
No, Omelet!
Omelet gets annihilated. Where is your HP bar at, son?
Tiana's been eating it for breakfast this whole game.
Absolutely, man. Ohio Luigi, can we get an interview with this man after the game? Because I need to know how he likes his omelet because he has been eating that stuff so much inside of this game. At least 5 of the deaths feel like they came from Ohio Luigi at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a pretty accurate statement, I feel. And there's just like not a whole lot you can do. Even if once he gets this Phantom Dancer done, I still think he gets one shot. All right, Pengu, wait for the actual dunk to ult him this time. I believe in you.
They're looking
for no, he did it again.
He did it again. Oh no, he's dead.
Pengu.
Oh no, he's got an hourglass.
Okay.
He baited him. Ohio Luigi.
Oh no, he gets out.
He's trying to make his escape. He's not out just yet. He has to make some fancy footwork here. He's dodging. He's weaving. He's not going to be able to get out of there. Ohio Luigi getting taken out inside of the opposing team's jungle. But here is the split push with this Baron buff, and they got to respond to this immediately.
Yeah, and you know, Ohio Luigi was just ever so close from getting out of that one. Had the blast code, just needed his Moby boots to kick back in, and I think he was out of there. Instead, decides to just try to juke him out with the stealth, and he wasn't able to get out of that one.
Oh man, he had so many things that he would have to dodge still too. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow. We saw the hot shot actually coming out in that as well. So they're like, we're finding out where you went, Kiana. You are not fooling us. We will have your blood. Now it
Yeah.
is a game 25 minutes in, and we are looking at a 9K difference between these two teams, a much huger lead than I believe we ever saw in the last game.
Yeah, and I really want the Buckeyes to do something with this Baron. They're getting ready to set up push back again after all the crazy shenanigans that just went on. But, you know, maybe the NA Ram isn't the most optimal strategy here, because fighting against a bunch of bruisers and a Jarvan, Ash Arrows, all that fun stuff, sounds like a bad time. But Gangplank can't really answer Darius in the side lane 1v1, so it kind of leaves that as their main strategy.
Yeah, Mafro getting shot down very low. We talked about NA needs to find their own strategy.
Whoa,
We've had it all
Riverell
along.
just goes on in!
Wrong. But he's going to be able to pick up the kill. Riverell is going to be staying on alive. Here comes the 1v1 me bro coming out from this Mordekaiser in the bat side. They've got the tower. They're looking for an inhibitor. That's going to be the kill. That's going to be coming out. Lamal Zedong, he's going to be able to pick that up. And now it is Scarlet Buckeyes looking to just clean sweep the side of MSU. Riverell is going to go down in the crater itself. But it's still a double kill with Ohio Luigi, able to be the janitor that his team needs to just clean up the mess. And that is going to be the Scarlet Buckeyes being able to pick up this game of a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, and just like that, Riverell goes on in, gets almost blown up, gets the Zillion ult, they stop hitting him, and then that lets him free fire. He did a ton of damage, ulted back across, or got himself back across the other side. And even though they ended up having to forfeit game 1 due to the emergency sub, the Buckeyes come through and win the series 2-1. Fantastic gameplay out of them, especially in the second game. It was a lot cleaner, a lot more decisive than the game 2 was.
Man, oh man, oh man. This is definitely one of those games where you could tell that these two teams were definitely going at each other, right? Like there was a lot of moments, even in this game here, we did see a moment where Mubu able to have that amazing like 1v1v1v1 moment where he was just 1v1ing everybody. The gauntlet was thrown down, but it just wasn't enough. They weren't able to make a comeback like like the side of the Scarlet Buckeyes were able to do, man. It was just one of those things where I feel like the comp just didn't allow for a tendency to come back. And Omelet did not have a fun time inside that game. I'm going to be the person to say it. Ohio Luigi, I'm pretty sure I'm going to say it now. So 5 deaths. Somebody goes back and watches it. I believe it was 5 deaths of Omelet was caused completely by Ohio Luigi. I'm almost 100% sure.
I think it was 6 because he got blown up at the Baron as well, or after the Baron. Luigi came over the wall and hit him with the ult and blew him up. So I think it might have been.
I know the last one was all Riverell with the Hail Mary play there by jumping in, bursting the HP, and just throwing the Hail Mary out there and being able to pick up the kill. But definitely very, very much so well done here from the Scarlet Buckeyes. These guys looking like they are here to play for keeps and put on a masterful performance. Now, Gus, I have to ask you before we end off this series here tonight, who's your MVP for the series?
Well,
it's
MVP
hard
for the series, it is hard because everyone on the Buckeyes did what they needed to do. You know, Pengu came in and was an E-sub and did what he needed to do from the support position. Riverell did what he always does. Icelandic Hero just did what he needed to do with Bafro blowing all these flashes early on in these games. He stabilized the game for them, but I think it has to go to Ohio Luigi. You know, he popped off on the Vladimir, he popped off on the Kiana, and he pretty much set up his team for victory. So I'm going to give it to Ohio Luigi.
I have to agree with you. I want to give an honorable shout out to Icelandic Hero real quick, just because this man's dragon control is insane.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Like legitimately, I'm sorry to like rain on the parade of Ohio Luigi, but Icelandic Hero, what the hell are you on? There has to be an internal dragon timer that's inside of his brain and heart. Like they both go off. Like he just feels it. He doesn't have to look at the timer. He was always there at the right moment, at the right time to make sure his team had all the resources they need. But like you said, Ohio Luigi, we got to give it to the person who was wombo combo and smacking everybody up and down the house and taking them out of the Summoner's Rift and making the Summoners Rift, just a bloody mess.
Yep,
But
he
with that
roamed
being
around, teleported down, did everything you want from a mid laner playing that style.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That being said, I believe that is it for our time. I want to give a shout out to all the viewers out here. You guys are freaking cute. I don't know if anybody ever told you this, but you guys, we have had a huge amount of viewers inside of here checking out the hottest of Contendies action. And it has been just an absolute pleasure. My name's Travesty. I've been joined here by the one, the only Guster Posey. And thank you guys all for coming on out to the game. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, tomorrow, actually. Come in tomorrow. There's more games tomorrow. Bye.